I probably went through 20 changes of water for these pants, and still there's a little bit of brown. Just can't seem to get it all out. And also, let me just say that this can keep the car a little cool. Trying to dry my clothes, and then also keeping the car cool with the wet clothes. Alright, now that I got my cooler, I took the chicken. I got 2 chicken breasts. I only took 1 breast and kept the other in the freezer, or the cooler. I got a frozen raspberries to keep everything cool. But I'm gonna want to buy some ice when I get to Walmart tonight, just to ensure that everything stays cool. Carrots, 1 chicken breast left, and just want to, and the raspberries, want to keep them all cool. It's not really even that hot of a day, so it's not much of a challenge for keeping things cool. But I'm cooking peppers, rice, that 1 chicken breast for the evening. Getting on top of that a little bit more with the guidance of ChatGPT. Winnebago, Wisconsin. All right, Neenah.
Books on hold because I want one of them to come in before the trip.
All right. Oh, it's the whole bottom floor children's section?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you looking for something?
Not the children's section. It looks like he's coming into the hospital. Oh. Hmm. Alright, I stepped away from my computer for a few minutes, but a place like this don't seem so bad. So I feel kind of comfortable have stepped away from my stuff. Nobody in the library looks very shady. It looks like they got some money and they don't need to be stealing things from me. Alright, this is a good spot for parking, I think. I'm in the sun right now, but my front end is in the shade. And the way it looks, I think the sun is going to go down this way, so I should have shade for the rest of the evening. I got a very hot temperature at the moment in Neenah. I was parked in the sun. This isn't too bad from the library. It'd be a good walk if I wanted to do this tomorrow too. What an interesting fountain. It's like kids climbing poles. Yeah, that's some artwork there. So all these sailing boats are for a school? Fox Valley Sailing School? Says on the side there. Reminds me of San Francisco. Well, and a couple other places too, where the person would just leave their boats out and yeah, just take a little boat in. Yeah, a lot of these are school. Maybe not all of them are for school. Yeah, most likely this boat is locked. I don't know why they would just leave it open. Yeah, it's a padlock. All you gotta do is cut the rope twice. I guess, you know, this isn't on the Great Lake, so I guess you're not gonna get far if you take a sailboat. Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's really rare to see a lawnmower and for the city get a full-on enclosure in their lawn mowing vehicle. So I think this is Hmong. They put it in a Hmong language because they like to get them pikes. I haven't seen any other Hmong language in the area. Open water hunting. So they're talking about it's no open water hunting in the city around here. Looks a little flooded to me here. Maybe not too bad. There's a lot of people around here just walking up and down the trail. This bird I think is on the dock. The dock is underwater, so it is kind of flooded around here. And then a long bridge, which is really interesting to me. That's why I like this area, is because maybe there's a chance today I might want to bicycle into the city a little bit. Maybe, but I want a good shade parking first. Neenah, Wisconsin. Neenah. I just don't see the need for cloth in this car. I don't see the need that cloth needed to come with the car. They had cloth in the inner well here, and maybe that'll hold down any noise when the rocks would hit the inner well, but whatever. I've been driving for a few years without that cloth. It actually got loose. The glue came undone or something, and I pulled it off because I was rubbing on the tire. And then all that cloth on the bottom of the car and the top of the car. people talk about, oh, the noise, oh, horrible things come with the noise, and I'm just like, whatever. I don't really notice a big difference. It's more the wind. You know, the faster you go, and when you have your windows down, the more noise the wind makes, not noise through the metal, not through the roof. And then you got condensation, which happens at times, and it can drip on you, but it doesn't happen all the time. So I just don't really have a problem with it. I can wipe it down if it can get really bad, but I just cooked in here and I never get condensation. But it's been warm enough where I got all the windows down anyway. But I just never get condensation even with the windows up after cooking. So I'm not concerned about condensation. I'm not concerned about noise. Why can't they sell cars without anything? Okay? Just the basics to get around. They gotta fancy them up and make them way too expensive. They could really simplify an electric car, just having just the bare bones stuff, keep it as light as possible, the fewest safety features. I don't know why there's no talk about cutting back on safety features for electric cars. That's something that really should be considered if they're going to be trying to save money on energy. Somebody who might hang out in I don't know, say the fairgrounds, 10 minutes every day for a year. I'm not sure exactly how much time that adds up, but you compare that to somebody hanging out at a fairgrounds for maybe an hour every day for a year, and compare that to me hanging out all day for just one day. I look like the worst person. I look like the person who doesn't belong. If I hang out all day for just one day out of the year, compared to somebody who only hangs out for an hour every day of the year. So my flintlock may have been sitting in the door panel for years, and it looks very corroded. I actually scraped it a bit, but it naturally gets corroded like this, some kind of green substance. It still sparks because I tested it, but it got corroded enough to the point where there's this, I mean, like these get corroded sitting in here exposed to the water. Things are getting exposed to the water, but the flint has got some kind of substance that flakes off of it. It's like a soil or something. This whole powder stuff is all, I think, all from the flint, because it's only right here where the flint was laying that this powder stuff has developed. I don't know if that could be reactive, but because I mean clearly the front section of the flint is worn away, so I think that's that powder that has now accumulated. Because I don't know, like, why did I just lose the front portion of the flint? And then the end was, it's black. And it was in here, but I pulled it out because it got loose. So I think I'll want to keep it dry, because water does get into this area and rusts things and destroys flints. But this flint is still kind of good. It could be a survival thing still. Alright, it's June 27th in Appleton, and I just want to say I'm a little surprised to see strawberries along this trail. They're kind of out of season now, I think, for farming, but the wild ones are doing okay. I want to say that I tried one and it's not sweet at all. But I mean, they exist. There used to be a crazy person asylum here. Life differed from patient to patient. Life of labor, self-sufficiency, little to occupy their time if they couldn't work. 504 acres of farmland. Wow. There's a picture of the crazies. So I'm guessing we're facing this asylum that's now a forest. 1890 to 1958. So they're saying that these workers at the asylum were turned into slaves pretty much. Took advantage of them, starving them, and so that they could save money and take more to the market to make more money. So what an experiment there at this asylum, turning it into a farm community. 250 hogs, 350 hens, tons of milk that they sold to local markets. They made money off of the asylum workers, and some were worked a little harder than others. I have no doubt this bridge was built for the asylum. I've been to at least one other asylum that had a bridge. It seems like a standard thing that, well, in Wisconsin, that they go for, creating a bridge on the asylum grounds, because it's just something that they like to do. Yeah, there's at least 3 signs along this trail. I read one. I skipped one, read one, and then here's another one. And this is going to the college. Alright, so it's just something about a cemetery. Alright, I read the sign a little bit, talked about some of the people that are buried here. They're all pretty much forgotten. There's really no grave markers. You know that there's a lot of dead people buried here, but they don't have many grave markers. You don't see any, actually. There's no grave markers. Talked about a lot of the people were buried from the asylum, and individuals who were recorded, like a 25-year-old guy who had an alcohol problem. He was interred at the asylum and died here at 72. Spent like 50 years. Wow. So this is where they just bury them and didn't put grave markers. And some 34-year-old woman who had uterine problems. Burial roll. Okay, just lay them in a roll. Maybe there was at least a wooden marker at the time. Yeah, I can't picture quite where that sanitarium is, though. Well, I guess they got a trucking school here at the Fox Valley Tech School. These are set up here next to the cemetery, ready for abuse by students. So yeah, they created a list of all the people buried here. They probably missed a few from through the mid 1900s were buried here. All the names. And my last name isn't on here, so no relatives, I guess. Yeah, I think the wild strawberries were a part of that farm, because that is an unusual growth along the trail. So I might have, on that trail, I might have been walking on part of their farm plot. So if this stopped in 1949, yeah, I mean, 70 years, over 70 years of tree growth, forest rejuvenation coming back. assuming 1949 was just like the stop point, the very end point. It probably gradually was getting overgrown up to 1949, maybe stopped in 1939 or really scaled back, and then the overgrowth started picking up earlier than 1949. They got wild strawberries, and that could be a natural progression. Were the strawberries very big back in the early 1900s? I'm not sure. Okay, the lone physical reminders are that bridge and cemetery. Okay, because it's hard to tell exactly where this thing was. Looks like it's brick. There's probably some of that brick laying in the woods somewhere if you search hard enough. Probably find metal pieces as well. So they got a history of the asylum. It was opened for the insane in 1990 with the best of intentions and was a source of community pride. Really? And it was a state-of-the-art facility and considered an advancement and compassionate alternative for those deemed unable to live among general society. Prior to opening, its patients would have been destined for poorhouses or jails. Yet the facility operated through an era of limited understanding. Science couldn't yet differentiate between temporary and chronic mental health issues, and those committed were rarely released. Often individuals are committed for reasons difficult to fathom under modern sensibilities. Let's see, the asylum housed developmentally disabled individuals would be called dementia today. In 1907, somebody was committed for worry over family affairs. Overcrowded asylum didn't have permanent doctors, nurses, or psychiatrists, so it relied on the people who visited. As secluded, nobody was trained in healthcare. The superintendent had a background in farming and politics, so that's probably why it turned to farming. So yeah, it's just a lot of overgrowth, but it sounds like this apartment complex community was kind of built over it because they had to tear it down for that. Just want to say there's a lot of slippery elm around here in this old mental health area. And also looks like the grapes will be coming out pretty nice later in the summer. Yeah, there's all kinds of slippery elm. So it's looking pretty good around these parts. Alright, at 9:30 and Appleton. I'm not in any shade. Shade's over here, but I know in the afternoon I'll get that shade. So I do want to stay here for the day. Doesn't seem that busy. Didn't have a lot of cars on the Google Maps. It's not very busy at this time. I think I'd like to just stay here for the day. Maybe go for a bicycle ride. Is it the wind picking up or a car approaching? I often have to ask myself that. Look around and gauge the situation in these quieter areas. And the flame's out. Halfway through cooking. I gotta change out the canister. It's up all the way. So let it cool down a little bit, I guess, and then put the new one in. Community Day Center. Oh my God, I don't know. So I'm not sure if this is a library or not. I want to investigate. You know, it won't take long. I won't even need to lock the door, lock the bicycle up. Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's not a library then. And they probably don't offer any Wi-Fi. Brewster Guest? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I actually saw some girl was like sitting at a desk inside there, some young girl. Yeah, this is a sketchy area for bike. It's not a library. Oh my God. And to get to the Best Buy, I guess I need to cross the street to get onto the sidewalk. Because there's no crossing that train bridge here. There's a sidewalk on the other side though that I want to get to. So I'll just move down and down. And I really don't want to be on this side because the Best Buy is on the other side. So I crossed to get over to the sidewalk, but I got to cross back over for the Best Buy. Wow, it is so busy. North part of Appleton. I gotta get across the highway first before I can get back to the other side. Dang, it's so busy here. Already? All right, crossing underneath this, and then I can cross over to the other side. They're just gonna check out the Best Buy. And what I think I want to do is ask them to order and deliver to Green Bay. Have it delivered, have a camera delivered to Green Bay. And then I'll pick it up there instead of waiting around here. They certainly aren't going to have that Insta360. So here there's no sidewalk on either side for this whole block. The broken flap on my shoes, I've picked up some of these flowers. Oh, there we go. That's a big broken flap. I'm at the Best Buy.
Welcome in.
Oh, you got the Insta360 Go 3S.
The Go 3S. If you know exactly which one, I can just have someone.
I just told you the exact one.
Yeah, the Go 3S.
Right, I was able to get a 3S, a Go 3S. It's in my backpack, and it's colored white. I'd prefer black, but having any works good. This looks like a real difficult crossing. Uh-oh. All right. Yeah, they used to have a sidewalk. Here's evidence of a sidewalk right here. I could take this little strip. They gave up on it. I mean, it's on the other side at least. I really don't want to cross. Yeah, not many people take this route that's not worn in or anything. Ew. All right.